Good morning, comrades, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Nürburgring, and today we'll be fitting a new suspension on Andy's car. At least that was the intention of today's video until when we yesterday went out on a stock suspension. With me driving, something else happened, and now we ended up with this here on the lift at 24/7 performance. Now, first of all, let's talk about what has happened. First and foremost, are you okay?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything was handled brilliantly. Everything was controlled to the best.
No, are you okay? Like?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. That's the most important part, because it's always when these things happen. First and foremost, both people that were inside the car are good. Now, the rest, we will get to that in a bit. I always said, especially with all the last week's discussion, with people said like, oh, something's gonna happen, who's responsible for it? I always said, whenever I get in people's cars, I take the full responsibility as a driver, because driver is always responsible. Although you might say that something could have happened, like a coolant spill or something. There is something, so let's go over, regardless whether what has happened, I take the responsibility, but still it's important to explain what has happened. According to Nürburgring media license, I'm not allowed to show you the actual crash, and as you may know. But later in the video, I will include actually the whole lap up until that point, so you can actually see, and maybe you can say something, there was no crazy driving involved, or we're not trying to break any lap records.
Really well controlled, relatively fast lap.
Yeah, that was it. But what did happen? So when we got here, actually with a broken car, Nathan, not a mechanic but a YouTuber, Stateside Supercars. Why were you not at Exit Brunchen to film that happened?
Because I'm always at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, okay, so you were filming Adana first.
Yes.
Yeah, so you immediately spotted actually the noise that the tire was making. It was kind of flat.
Yeah, it's flat.
Yeah,
when
and
the car came in. Yeah.
Exactly, but we were thinking that it might have happened during or because of the accident. So you can see that the tire was really running on the sidewall, fully understeering, and in comparison to the other side, this is all as usual. And usually this tire should suffer more because of all the right-hand turns, if there are more right-hand turns on the track. After analyzing the onboard footage, we saw that the low tire pressure light came on halfway through the lap when we were going over the yellow zone, because previously there was a car accident there with a couple of cars involved, so it must have picked up there. Why didn't I notice it? Because the GoPro for the speedometer was straight in front of the dash and I could not see the light. And you can even see me previously, I was looking over it behind it to see if the traction control was switched off, which was in this case the bad situation. So I did not notice, proceed as went. By the time we got to Brunchen, the front right tire, this one, was so flat that basically what happened? First of all, I understeered onto the curb, and then the car lost grip on the rear, but you could not correct it because of the flat tire. It was slowing down on the front. It's as if you like put a pin through the car and it will start spinning. So nothing could have done to prevent it, and that's it. Well, so there is a reason, there's explanation. I'm not taking any, like, I don't know, there are no driver excuses. There is an explanation, that's it. Is that fair enough to you?
Certainly fair enough to me.
Yeah. So, and then moving on to the part of what happens now. As mentioned, taking full responsibility here. So how much is this, well, what are we talking in damages here? Luckily the front was actually not that bad when we looked at it, but as you start disassembling parts, some things come up, and yeah, you realize it's actually a bit worse than you hoped for. So, on the outside we can see bumpers, so the front, obviously, also the splitter, the headlights, the crash structure, that is job very well.
Logo.
Oh yeah, the logo. Oh no, we need to new logo. So, well, souvenir, nice, can go on the wall of shame. Then all kinds of coolers. The old cooler is now Andy Warhol edition, really artsy, really nicely bent.
There's a giveaway on this.
On what?
On the old cooler, it's a piece of art.
Oh yeah, that could be it. That could be it. On the rear bumper, and I'm just gonna go quickly to the rear because that's the minor damage, and the dented exhaust over here. The best part is that the taillights survived, and that is a very expensive part usually, like what, €7,500 probably?
No,
for the taillight?
And they're like 4.5 each. Or
Oh, 4.5. Well, it's still gonna be expensive, yeah.
Apart from that, there's nothing in the rear. This
Yeah.
is all fine.
It's all good, all good. Yeah, when we look on further here, the biggest issue that we see is that actually the front crash structure did suffer a bit. There is a minor dent, so the car will have to go on a straightening jig. For that, you need to take out the whole engine and then put it on, and there is that. How much is it going to cost? The rough estimate as of now, the parts are between 15 to 20,000 euros. Additional labor of the straightening the jig, painting the parts as well. The barrier didn't get the bill for it yet because they're replacing it right now. I expect it also between 2 and 3,000 probably. Recovery costs slightly below 500 because it had get towed off the track and brought here. And then additional labor. So yeah, it was definitely an expensive video to make. Something that I didn't expect to do, that didn't hope to do. But always, I said, that's the risk that you take when you go out on the track. Anything can happen and you just have to accept it. From me as a driver and take the responsibility. And what about you as an owner? I mean, like, is this something that you think like in the back of your mind that might happen and then...
Yeah, it's totally something. Every time you go out, you cross that barrier and you know that's it.
Something might happen.
Happens, it might cost you thousands of pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so what's going to be happening now is, of course, the car will be fixed to its former glory. Most of the parts will be used completely brand new. Pretty much everything. I would say close to 90%. The thing that we agreed with Andy is that it would be okay if we find like the bumpers secondhand because they need to be repainted as long as those genuine parts, and also the headlights because they are quite expensive. So if someone has some bumpers or headlights and would like to get rid of them and help us out in the process, that would be very much appreciated. The suspension will still go on, and are we gonna go for another lap then?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Well, we've still got to set the suspension up. So yeah, 100%. As soon as it's done, we'll go back out.
Yeah, and just go again.
Yeah.
And monitor the tire pressures a bit more correctly. Okay, with all the driver excuses aside, I would say, and all the explanations, that's all there is that you need to know. We will, of course, follow the whole build process with 24/7 performance and stateside supercars.
Yeah, I can film it.
Yeah, you can film a bit, yeah, some BTS, and post it here on the channel. So I guess that's all I had to say. There is not more, nothing less. What does our audience have to say about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Glad to be here. We're groupies.
That's one of those seats.
Yeah.
Can I have the chat?
Yeah, I don't know. We should ask Carl from 24/7. Final thank you to everyone who is watching, who has been actually real and supportive from when I posted the story on Instagram and whatnot. Everyone's been very cool about it. And I hope that it gives you also more insight of how things are happening, how they're being handled. And in the future videos, we'll show you more how it will be handled. And we'll continue smiling and laughing, and because it's just part of the experience of the Nürburgring. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of the video. One quick thank you as well for BMW for building reliable and strong cars nowadays, because E30, E46 would have been a different story, different conversation. And also the marshals who were there to see, and Lance who did a quick recovery, and obviously, of course, 24/7 Performance who is taking this whole job. And I'm very much looking forward to see what they can do, because you've seen in the reason why we're here in the first place and wanted to install suspension here is over the last couple of videos you've seen many cars through the Nürburgring car park with 24/7 Performance stickers. The very fast M3, the yellow and black one. So I was kind of curious and see what we can do here. And we're going to find it out in a different way and in an additional way. This is going to be a fun experience. So we're going for some drinks now?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. All right, guys.
Everybody.
Just a little.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Lads.
Lads. Food shot, absolutely. Danke dir. Nice, thank you.
He's quality. I just sold a 911 Turbo,
Uh-huh.
so if anything underpowered, yeah, I agree. Sounds like my new tyres need to be renewed.
No, they're good.
I can't believe you're just talking normal.
I mean, they're not screeching or anything, so.
All of a sudden, the standard suspension doesn't seem so bad to me.
No. And that's where the yellow is. Big spin.
How did they do that? Not realised it's happened and carried on going.
Probably.